You already know officially who it is. It's your boy, quite familiar, back in the building with another segment. Today we're going to talk about performances, especially live performances. Let me give you a couple details and a couple pointers on the do's and don'ts when it comes to live performances. I know a lot of people do live performances. I commend you on that. I show respect. I'm actually a big supporter on it. But the thing about it is, when some people do live performances, they do it in a particular mind frame or a particular way. Sometimes it be a little too over dramatic for the crowd, and your viewers and your fans don't get the real feel of the actual artist because there's too much going on in the performance. So let's get into this segment, and I'm going to do a little commentary just explaining the do's and don'ts, what I said about performance. I'll holler at you. Watch this. You see this? This is every artist's weapons of choice. When you go into a live venue, this will all that matters, but it's then also another device that matters. This. Whether it's digital, analog, or even a DJ mixer. This is one of the main key factors that helps you get the best performance when you're doing a live performance. Your vocals, yes, important. The microphone, that's important. But this particular item, whether it's a DJ mixer, an analog mixer like this, or a digital mixer, this what makes everything come to life. For DJs and engineers, when you're engineering on your DJ mixer, analog mixer, or digital mixer, when it comes to sound check, don't just do a sound check that comes to your mind, what you think sound good to you. Take your time to learn how it sounds in a studio. When you listen to an artist's song, you know it was done in a recording studio. So when you go to do a live performance, you always, as a DJ or engineer, you always want to make sure that your artist levels always similar to studio level. Even if you can't match it, you want all your artists to be nice and clear, the music nice and clear, everybody can hear it, it's not peaking, they don't sound muffled, they don't sound like they talking through a can or a paper cup or none of that stuff. You want it to be clear. And that's artists. When you go for your sound check, if you know how your level should be set, go to that engineer or that DJ and sit there like I do and have them preset it to default, then have them set it to your adjustments so it sounds good. And if your producer is there and you can't do it, have your producer do it. But the whole thing is, when you're doing a live venue, you want your vocals and you want your music, everything to sound clear, just like you was in the studio. The next thing I want to say is this. When you're doing a live venue or a live performance, please, some people do it, that's their preference. But for the artists, please do this. Number one, stop having like 20 people on damn stage. If you're performing, even if it's a squad, and it's a squad that's consisted of 4 rappers, stop having like 20 people on the stage. It's fine, but I heard a particular artist say this. I commend him on this because this is truth. If you got an entourage there, instead of your entourage be on stage, have your main people on stage. The rest of them, if you can get them seated in front of the crowd, have them stand in front of the crowd, they can help hype the crowd up. Don't have a whole bunch of people on stage while you trying to perform. Everybody is yelling your words to the point that the crowd, your fans, they looking for to hear the wordplay, the deliverance, the performance. They want to see everything and hear everything from the artist. But when you got a million people saying your words with you, can't nobody hear nothing. So it makes it very unintriguing. The next thing is, when you have somebody who's the camera guy in the crowd and they're sitting there recording, whether if they're using a phone or a camera. Now you know with most cameras, you could turn the volume up, you could turn it down. Some of them you can, some you cannot. If you're using a phone, turn your camera down halfway. Back up, son. Don't stand near the speakers. If you're there by the speakers, turn it down a little more halfway Zoom in, try to make sure that you get a good quality picture of the performance, but make sure the music is not drowning out too much, because that sucks. Like, even if somebody watching your performance, when they hear all the music blasting, they can't understand the words and it sound like you just lost views. People watch it, but once they hear it, they don't want to hear it no more. I'm just saying. The next step is dress for success. It don't matter if you're a trapper, you're a hip hopper, you make political music, you make music for females. It don't matter what type of music you make. Dress for success. Most people who make music, they talk about various different genders and situations when it comes to their music. That makes up their story. But in the industry, you know, sex sells. You don't have to be the sexiest. You don't have to be the prettiest. But carry yourself right. That's one thing that's more intriguing. You can be natural. There's nothing wrong with being natural. But be natural and also be sexy about it. Groom yourself. Dress yourself. Clean yourself. Present yourself. You can sit there and talk about, oh, you had this life on the streets. You was hustling all this. You was getting all this money. But when people see you on a photo cover, photo shoot, video, or even a live performance, you've been screaming all this time in this music, you getting all this money, whether it's from trapping, working, or whatever, you getting all this money. But when they see you, you still look like you never got a damn dime. So dress for success. That's very important. It's very lucrative. It helps build your fan base. It helps build everything around your career. That is very important. It's a good pointer. A lot of people don't listen, but as you progress through your career, whether it's still on the streets, underground, or making it to midstream or mainstream, you're going to see that is a very important essential that you need to have, because nowadays no label really want to do advances, and when they do advances, the advances is going to be on trying to fix you up. They might like your music, but they're trying to fix you up. And to me, I take that as disrespect, because if I'm a good looking dude and I carry myself the way how I do my music, if I did get advanced, that's all money I can sit there and advance with. I can invest with and advance. Advance and invest, invest and advance. Two key words. You put them together, it makes success. If you can sit there and understand that, then more money in your pocket, less money the company got to spend, and then more that can happen. The next topic, everybody should know. If you don't, let me tell you. Know the difference between live performance and karaoke. Usually for years, people go into bars, little tiny clubs, cafes, and things like that, and they go to perform. Usually, most of them, you will see a screen with a projector or a karaoke machine, and you're singing over somebody else's music, which is called karaoke. So when you go to do a live venue or performance, and you're playing your song, and you're rapping over your song, and you sitting there going through 16, your first 45 seconds, which will be your verse, and you only say 8, and you stop for a minute, and go back into your words, you know what that's called? Karaoke. It's not called performance. It's two ways how you can go about that you can get away with it. And if you watch the VMAs, the awards, live performances, and if you pay attention to all these industry artists out here, you can tell who does karaoke and who does a live performance. Like I said, it's two ways I can show you how to get away with it, but you will be more respected for that. When you sit there and get on stage, you going, wow, but your song is played. As soon as you mess up, they still hear your words. Oh, you know what that's called? Karaoke. It's not called live performance. I'm just saying, it's being real. Out of my whole years, my career of doing music, I never did karaoke. Anytime that I performed, I practiced my song and practiced my song and practiced my song. I don't care if my performance was a month away. I practiced my song every single day that if I did go to get on that stage, I never needed nothing but me. And if I did have somebody hype me up, they only hype me up on the chorus parts. And when it came to the chorus parts, they only hype me up on my doubles, which is my ad-libs and my adverbs. I never had nobody double me up on the chorus, because the chorus, that's all me. The verses, that's all me. The intro, that's all me. If you practice long enough, you will get the width capacity that you need to go through your whole song, that you only should be able to do a one take at the performance. Including your mannerisms, your deliverance, your performance, your emphasis. Everything should come into one if you practice. Now, I'm about to give you some examples. What I say, the do and don'ts. This is an example of a performance don't. Yeah, it's your boy, quite familiar in the building. Check it out. Listen, y'all, check it out. It's a me, honey coded, my building for the word session. I'm trying to be your man, shorty, I'm not here to stress your oppression, your peers. Abuse supposed to be your worst fear. I hit you with little lines in your ear to make you shed tears. I like my girl righteous like Nefertiti, smoking the beanie. Now, as you can see this, before I show you the performance do, this is what should be done. Go back to your producer, right? Have him mute your vocals. All your vocals will make up the track. You can keep your chorus, your reverb, and your ad-lib, or your ad-lib and reverb, whatever way you do it. And you say your vocals and let the ad-libs and your chorus come in. So that way, while you're performing, you saying your vocals, you can get your breather time and you can play around with the chorus and still get your breather time to the next verse, and play around with your chorus again, talk a little mess into your last verse, or however you finalize it in the song. Now, this is an example of a performance do. Yeah, it's your boy, quite familiar in the building. Let me talk to y'all, ladies. Let me talk to y'all. Check it out. Excuse me, honey, coded, my bloated for work testing ya. I'm trying to be your man, shorty. I'm not here to stress your oppression, your peers. Abuse supposed to be your worst fear. I hit you with lyrical lines in your ear to make you shed tears. I like my girl righteous like Nefertiti, smoking the beanie. Don't give a damn what I'm wearing, or if my hit too easy. Believe me, keeping it true means going all out for you. Shorty, I'll be your vaccination when you have the flu. Girl, my word is bond, so I want to keep it true. And shorty, when I'm born, just remember, pull out some brew. Look at you, anybody smiling, your style is just be doing it. Since the first I seen it was your love, I've been pursuing, kid. Sipping for wine, why is it twine with your mind? I take you to beyond with rhymes you couldn't define. I'm trying to live the lack of luxury. Shorty, what about you? That's just a boo, only if you keep it true. Shorty, it's me and you, and just forever. And we got to stick together like the seams on the leather. Maintain is in any possible weather. It's all about you, so keep it true. Short as me and you, it's just forever, and we got to stick together like the seams on the leather. Maintaining any possible weather. It's all about you, so keep it true. Now, this is the second alternative when it comes to performing live that you should have your original producer do. Now, if you know your verses and you know the chorus, mute the chorus and keep in your ad-libs and your adverbs. So you'll be doing your intro, you'll be doing your verse, you'll be doing your chorus with your ad-libs and your adverbs backing you up. And you do your next verse, and etc. And then you end the song, which is more preferably and more respectable, and the fans will love it. I'm going to show you another example. Yeah, baby. This your boy, quite familiar in the building. I'm going to talk to y'all lovely ladies. Check it out. Listen. Excuse me, honey, coded, my bloated for work testing. I'm trying to be your man, short. I'm not here to stress your oppression, your peers. Abuse supposed to be your worst fear. I hit you with lyrical lines in your ear to make you shed tears. I like my girl righteous like Nefertiti, smoking a beanie. Don't give a damn what I'm wearing, or if my hit too easy. Believe me, keeping it true means going all out with you. Shorty, I'll be your vaccination when you have the flu. Girl, my word is born, so we're going to keep it true. And shorty, when I'm born, just remember, pull out some brew. I'm infatuated by your smiling, your style, and just be doing it. Just the first I seen it was your love, I've been pursuing, kid. Sipping
for rhyme, why intertwine with your mind? I take you to beyond with rhymes you couldn't define. I'm trying to live the lack of luxury. Shorty, what about you? That's what's up, boo. Only if you keep it true. Shorty's me and you, and just forever. And we got to stick together like the seams on the leather. Maintain it through any possible weather. It's all about you, so keep it true. Sure, it's me and you, and just forever. And we got to stick together like the seams on the leather. Maintain it through any possible weather. It's all about you, so keep it true. Basically, the point that I'm trying to make is, you got a lot of people out here that's talented. You got a lot of artists. You got a lot of singers and etc. You got a lot of people who perform live. But even though it's your music, you got your management, production behind you. You got to think about you are who you are. You are somebody. But in order for you to be a big somebody, it's the fans. It's not about you. You're here to please the fans, to give them what they want to hear. But it's about the fans.